go to 7-Eleven, I buy some stuff.
11:11.
Lucky 11s. I look at the date, it's 11-11. I look at the time, it's 11-11. I start to see these 11s everywhere.
Ian Gray, a dedicated PhD student whose life is rooted in science, logic, and the tangible, is researching the biology of the eye with a firm belief in facts over fate, science over spirituality. For Ian, everything in the universe can be explained. Destiny and divine guidance, those are just illusions to him. One night, Ian finds himself at a Halloween party, mingling in the sea of costumes and masks. But his attention is soon captivated by a mysterious woman across the room. Her face is concealed, yet her striking green eyes pierce through the mask, holding an inexplicable allure. Ian feels an undeniable connection, a strange familiarity, as if those eyes have an ancient story meant only for him. They exchange a few intense moments, but before he can ask her name, she disappears into the crowd, vanishing as quickly as she entered his life. Ian returns home that night, feeling an unexpected sense of loss over someone he barely knew. He tells himself it was just a moment, just an encounter, but deep down he can't shake the feeling that this stranger was meant to be in his life. Still, he dismisses it, reminding himself that such signs have no place in the scientific world. Days pass, and Ian's life seems to carry on normally, until a series of odd coincidences begins to unfold. One afternoon, he stops at a convenience store, grabbing a few items and a lottery ticket. When the cashier rings up his total, he's puzzled to see it comes out to exactly $11.11. Slightly amused, he pulls out the money in his pocket. To his surprise, he has exactly $11.11. Stepping out of the store, he checks his watch, and the time is, you guessed it, 11:11. He shakes his head, trying to brush it off as a strange coincidence. But as he's walking, he spots a bus numbered 11, heading toward Broadway. He decides to take it, feeling strangely compelled. On board, a dog suddenly starts barking at Ian, drawing everyone's attention. The dog's gaze feels unsettling, as though it's somehow aware of something Ian can't understand. Growing uncomfortable, he gets off the bus a few stops earlier than planned, hoping to shake off the strange feeling that's been following him. And that's when he sees it. A large billboard directly across from him, displaying a set of hauntingly familiar green eyes. They're the very same eyes he saw that night at the Halloween party. What if life itself is constantly offering you signs, reflections of your inner world? What if these synchronicities are the universe's way of guiding you towards self-discovery? Synchronicity, as Carl Jung called it, refers to meaningful coincidences. Imagine you're thinking of a friend, and moments later they call you. Or you keep seeing the same symbol everywhere, a number, a word, even an image, at exactly the times when you're seeking direction. These events might seem random, but what if they're not? What if they're subtle nudges from the universe, directing you towards something significant? In Ian's case, synchronicities began to reveal themselves in the form of eyes. They were like breadcrumbs, urging him to explore the parts of life that he couldn't explain away with reason alone. Now, think about this. When you start noticing synchronicities in your life, it's often because you're at a turning point. There's something you're ready to learn, something within yourself that's ready to be transformed. Synchronicities are reflections of your deepest thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, a mirror of what's happening within you. Pay attention to these synchronicities. They're an invitation to look inward. A concept as ancient as philosophy itself. A man is wandering through a vast forest. He's exhausted, hungry, and longing for a place to rest. Just as he's about to give up, he finds a beautiful shaded spot under an ancient tree, the Kalpa-vriksha, the mystical wish-fulfilling tree of Indian mythology. This man, unaware of the tree's powers, settles down under its branches and thinks, "I wish I had some water." Within moments, a fresh jug of water appears before him. Stunned, he thinks again, "It would be wonderful to have a feast." Instantly, platters of the most delicious food appear. Astonished yet delighted, he begins to eat, indulging his every craving. As he grows more comfortable, his desires flow freely. "I wish I had a palace," he muses, and with a mere thought, a grand palace stands before him. One by one, every whim is fulfilled. Servants, luxuries, everything he could possibly desire appears in an instant. His amazement grows, but so does his greed and, soon after, his unease. As he continues to experience the boundless abundance of his wishes, an insidious doubt creeps in. "What if there's something wrong here?" he thinks. "What if a wild animal comes to attack me?" In an instant, a wild tiger appears. His fear and belief in danger are now made real by the same magical tree that had granted him every comfort moments ago. Before he can run, the tiger lunges at him, and he perishes under the weight of his own fear. In the same way, the mirror principle reminds us that our inner world, our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are constantly projected into our reality, much like the man's wishes were brought to life by the Kalpa-vriksha. Just as the man's fears became his downfall, so do our unacknowledged fears and insecurities shape the world we see and experience. So, if we sit under our own wish-fulfilling tree of life, our minds and intentions, we have to be mindful. Everything we think and feel creates our reflection in the external world. Desiring things from a place of lack or fear will create circumstances that mirror that same lack or fear. In contrast, desires rooted in confidence, abundance, and trust tend to bring about supportive, positive outcomes. The mirror principle teaches that we're all, in a sense, sitting under the Kalpa-vriksha every day. Life mirrors back not only our conscious desires, but also our underlying beliefs. If we wish to experience prosperity, peace, or love, we must cultivate these qualities within ourselves. Rather than chasing change in the outer world, we must focus on aligning our internal world with what we genuinely want to experience. By being aware of this mirror, we become powerful creators of our reality. This principle also requires us to take responsibility. If something undesirable appears in our lives, we can trace it back to our own internal state and begin the transformative work from within. This empowers us to create a world of fulfillment, peace, and harmony, rather than one dictated by our unconscious fears and doubts. When you start noticing synchronicities, don't just observe them. Interpret them. Ask yourself, what inner belief or feeling is this event mirroring back to me? For example, suppose you're seeing symbols of success everywhere. Perhaps you're drawn to stories of people who've achieved their dreams, or you keep meeting people who seem to radiate confidence and abundance. This is no accident. It could be a message that you're ready to take steps toward your own success, but only if you shift any doubts you hold inside about your ability to succeed. Let's say you're at a point in life where you keep noticing signs about new beginnings. Numbers like 111, symbols like butterflies, or people talking about big life changes. Instead of dismissing them, consider that these synchronicities are reflecting an inner readiness to start fresh. The mirror principle invites you to ask, who do I need to become to make this new beginning possible? The next time you notice a synchronicity, don't brush it off. Ask yourself, what is this trying to show me about my inner world? Use it as a mirror to reflect on who you're becoming. Every synchronicity is an opportunity to choose the identity you want to embody and the life you want to live. Remember, life is a journey of transformation, and you have the power to shape it from within. Keep looking inward,